Hi guys, welcome to Goddess Awake. In this video we're going to be talking about tantric sex, so if you are under 18 can I please ask you to exit the video, but please do come back when you're 18 or if you have your parents' permission. Now that we've got that little disclaimer out of the way, let's get into it. So you're going to have to bear with me on this video again guys. I've got a sore throat and I've got the snuffles. So hopefully I'm coming through nice and clearly and you can understand me despite all that. So what is tantric sex? Tantric sex is bringing awareness and consciousness to sex. It allows us to connect with our higher selves and source energy. It can awaken your Kundalini, boost your orgasms, boost your sex life. It builds a connection to your partner and yourself. It makes that stronger. It builds a connection to source energy. You can manifest and create with it. You can enter a shared meditation space with it. You can induce natural DMT releases with it. You can activate your sacred heart space and your macabre. It can induce multiple or energetic orgasms. It's about using your breathing, using visualizations and moving energy around the body to create a highly spiritual and highly pleasurable experience. It's about finding out what things turn you on and what things build that sexual pleasure, and it's about having fun and boosting your spirituality at the same time. So sex is such a powerful thing. It can be used, obviously it can be used for good and it can be used for bad, as anything can. And this is why the dark forces in the world, the dark elites, shall we say, and other dark beings, that's why they use sex and they invert sex, because when you invert sex and you use it in such a low vibrational way, you can shatter people's consciousnesses, you can split their personalities, you can traumatize them for life, and you can create a hell of a lot of fear. You can create a lot of luge energy. You can create all that, and obviously the negative energy and negative beings in the world feed off that. And this is why sex crimes are such highly punishable crimes, because it when it's used in such a way, in a violent way, in a traumatic way, in a low vibration way, it can have such detrimental effects on the human psyche, that can last a lifetime and many lifetimes, in fact. So when you use sex as a spiritual tool to connect you with yourself, your partner and source, it can, imagine the opposite effects happening. If it can induce that much trauma, if it's done in a low vibrational way, imagine how much positive, loving energy it can release if you use it in a loving, trusting, tantric way. It can really, really unlock a lot of things and create a lot of energetic experiences, which we're going to go into. So yeah, the power of tantric sex is absolutely phenomenal. The things it can unlock and do for you, like I said, if you just think about what the dark forces use it for and how powerful it is on that end of the spectrum, imagine how powerful it is if you took it to the good side, the light side, and you came at it with spirituality and awareness and consciousness and love and trust. The energetic effects of that is going to be out of this world. So let's get into how we do it. So my studies are more based on Egyptian Tantra than Indian Tantra. However, there's things that overlap and it's very similar principles. It's just there's a couple of differences, but I'm not going to go into that in this video. But that's just a little, that's my kind of angle. It's more towards the Egyptian Tantra than the Indian, but whichever works best for you. They both work in a very loving and spiritual way. So yeah, let's get into how we do it. So first and foremost, you want to be with somebody that you love and trust 100%. if you're going to be doing this with somebody else, you can do this on your own. You can do this on your own by all means. It has exactly the same amount of power and it works the same on your own. I'll get into that a little bit more later on as well. But yeah, if you're going to do this with somebody, be with somebody you love and you trust, somebody that you can surrender to 100%. You know that you're going to both have a spiritual experience. You both got each other's best interests at heart. That love and trust is so important. And yeah, to surrender to each other completely. So now you're with the right person, or if you're on your own, you want to start with thinking about setting the scene. Make it as sensual as you can. Think about invoking and enticing all your senses. So that's your sight, your smell, your touch, your feel, everything. You can light candles, you get some nice mood lighting, or if you've got some lamps, put lamps on and stuff like that. You could use scented candles or incense or essential oils for that nice smells. You can get essential oils that are good for that have a good aphrodisiac qualities, that can really sort of get your senses going and light those areas up in your brain. Make sure the room temperature is alright. You want it to be warm enough. You don't want to obviously get distracted by being too cold, because that can be really off-putting for both men and women for various reasons. So yeah, make sure it's nice and warm. You might want to put some relaxing music on, or some tantra music, whatever you find relaxing, whatever's going to help you clear your mind and get into that clear headspace and that letting go and that state of surrender and trust. If you're going to play with sex toys, make sure you have them ready. Have all your equipment ready to go, your blindfolds, feathers or handcuffs, whatever it is that you're using to build that sensual touch feeling with each other with. Make sure it's all ready and you've set your scene and you're ready to go. Next things on the list, so you want to now get into a nice state of relaxation. You've set the scene, you're both ready to take it to the next step. So you could do some deep breathing. You could do a few deep breaths in through the nose, hold for a second, then out through the mouth. It's always good to do up to between 5 and 10 of those, just to clear your mind and relax your body and release any tension and negativity you might be holding on to. You might even want to do a little bit of meditation together or some yoga together, whatever you feel you want to do to get nice and relaxed, and whatever's going to clear your mind and just get you ready for the session. So you want to be in a state of total surrender, trust and relaxation. This is why it's so important to be with somebody you love and trust 100%. You need to be able to fully let go with them and yourself if you're like doing this on your own, if you're DIYing. Just be so trusting in yourself, be relaxed, just let go, surrender to it. Nobody's going to judge you. And yeah, it's a loving, sacred space. You're bringing your divine bodies together. You're making that connection with Source. You're bringing Source through your divine bodies and your sacred temples. And yeah, you want to be fully in a state of surrender to that and openness and conscious awareness to that. Make sure you really know your partner well, because we do take on each other's energy every time we have sex, especially if you don't know how to preserve and protect your energy and your life force. So only take on loving, trusting energy from people that you love and trust. Don't give your energy away willy-nilly either. Make it sacred and only give it to those who deserve it. If you want, especially if you're wanting to make it a more tantric experience, like going out. I mean, it's not so much the same now with the current state of the world, but like going out every weekend and pulling somebody, that's not going to give you a tantric experience, and you're just going to keep taking on energy of other people, and you don't know what kind of energy they're carrying necessarily anyway. So yeah, make it a sacred thing. Only give your sexual energy and your body to somebody that you love and trust and you want to give it to. If they don't meet that criteria and you don't feel good around them, say no. It's not for you don't have to give it to people you don't want to give it to. And yeah, be respectful with each other and play safe, obviously. If you're in a committed long-term relationship, then you're going to be very respectful with each other, and you're already going to know how you're going to do things safely, I assume. But yeah, be respectful with each other and play safe, obviously. And now you are ready to enjoy and for the fun to begin. So now you're all relaxed and you're clear-minded and you're raring to go. The next step is to get into it. Start building up the tension and the pleasure by starting off slow and sensual. So don't be jumping straight into sex. Like, start with like delicate touch, maybe blindfold each other, maybe use a feather and tickle each other. You want to evoke all the erogenous zones in the body. You want to wake it all up, but you don't want to get like too excited and get in there too quick. If you find yourself getting too excited and too quick off the mark, do some deep breaths, do some meditation. And this one's especially for the guys. Just do a bit of slowing down, visualize that sexual energy moving around your body, and just give yourself that moment to just calm back down. You want to get your partner, all the senses awakened and all the erogenous zones awake, and make sure to touch, tease, stroke all those areas that either tickle or feel good. Don't jump straight into the sex. Just start by building up sensations. Bring some more foreplay in and get each other even more sensitive and build that sexual pleasure. Maybe try new things with foreplay that you don't normally do. Slow it down and see if it feels good. See if you like it. It all builds to that sexual tension and that sexual pleasure and gets you into that state of mind. Another thing you can do is visualize your sexual energy moving around your body. You can imagine your sexual energy rising up through your chakras, lighting each and every one of them up as it moves up. You can do some deep breaths and use your breath work to either slow down, if you're a guy, usually. Sorry guys, but it's usually you guys that get a little bit quick off the mark. So use your breath work to slow down. Use your visualizations, move the energy around, slow down. And also, you can use the visualizations to increase your sexual energy. You can visualize it building. This isn't a one-fits-all rule. I am stereotyping here when I'm about to say this, but if you guys want to work on slowing it down and building the tension and the pleasure and the pressure without obviously busting you up too quick, and women, you probably want to work on visualizing the energy building and getting stronger and stronger and feeling it all around your body. It's sort of it's very much a slowing down for guys and almost a speeding up and building the pleasure and the tension for women. So if you can just bear that in mind. Another technique to help build the pressure, it's called edging. So this means getting each other or yourself to the point of orgasm, but then stopping just before you orgasm. So you can keep doing this. You can keep building the pleasure and the pressure back up, right up to the edge of orgasm, but stopping before it's too late, before it's game over. And this can really ramp up the sexual tension and really build up that sexual energy. Edging's a really good one, but obviously it takes practice. You're probably gonna have a few points where you reach the point of no return and it's game over, but it does take practice and it's fun to experiment with. So it's a technique you can try and you can learn to master if it's for you, and it just another thing to just help build that sexual pleasure and the sexual energy. So remember that tantric sex is about connecting on a deep spiritual level with yourself, your partner, and the universe. So take the time to slow it down and enjoy every second of it. Do the breath work and the visualizations, because the results you can have and that you can achieve are absolutely out of this world. It really is worth just slowing down and taking that time to do the breath work and visualizing the sexual energy building in your mind. And you can visualize joining in a joint meditation space, and you can visualize source energy coming in through your crown chakra. It's a highly spiritual thing to do once you start bringing this awareness in and this consciousness in. So who is Tantra for? So Tantra is for absolutely everybody, whether you're single, in a relationship, whether you're straight, gay, bi, whether you're trans, whether you're whatever category or label you fall into or don't fall into, whether you're old, young, male, female, whatever the situation is, it doesn't matter. If you've got sex organs and you want to explore with sex, with your spirituality, then go for it. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to have any prior knowledge. You just have to be open and willing. Bring that awareness in, bring the visualizations in, bring the breath work in, and slow it down, and you are pretty much there with the Tantra. Everyone can benefit from it. So if you are doing it solo, then really take the time to get to know your body and discover what it likes. Make love to yourself. Not many of us out there actually take the time. A lot of people just like to masturbate to scratch an itch, I guess is the right way to put that. But really slow it down. Make love to yourself. Be sensual with yourself. Treat yourself. Give yourself all those things that you've wanted during sex that you might not have got from other people. Really, really make it almost like a ceremony with yourself. You can slow it down, you can build that pressure, you can edge all by yourself, make it part of your self-love and care practice, make it part of your spiritual practices, or just do it to have a better, more loving sex life, or to raise your vibration. Whatever you want to do it for, give it a go. It's not that difficult. Let's get into some of the benefits of tantric sex. There is lots. I will warn you guys, there is lots, and there's some very, very powerful ones in here. If you're very lucky, all of these can happen at once. This has happened to me once and it was absolutely insane, and I will go into that a little bit in a moment after I've gone through some of this. Be aware it can all happen at once, or you can get them individually or a few at a time. Or one thing to remember before I go into this is you're not going to get all these all the time. It's not going to happen overnight, and you're going to have to be patient with yourself and your partner. And don't be thinking that you're going to achieve like all these things instantly or even for a while, because it happens when it happens, and you really do have to be in a state of surrender. Surrender yourself to your partner, to your universe, to yourself. If it's meant to happen, it will happen, and the more you practice, the more you'll know how to make these things happen, and you'll know all these things, like all these different techniques you can try to make all these different benefits come to life. So let's get into the benefits of tantric sex. So you can have multiple orgasms. So that's an orgasm from nipple stimulation, clit stimulation, G-spot stimulation, cervical, otherwise known as vaginal, and you can also have an energetic orgasm, which can be induced by non-contact. You can do that purely by visualizing the sexual energy building and rising up through your body, and you can obviously visualize when you've had like sex in the past, when we've had a particularly tantric experience. You can visualize that, and eventually if you get really good at that, you can actually have an orgasm without having to touch anything. I haven't got there with that one myself, but that is part of one of the benefits of tantric sex for sure. You can have prolonged and full-bodied orgasms. One of the things that can help that, to prolong your orgasms, and to make them more full-bodied for both men and women is the Ankh Technique. That is from Egyptian Tantra. I have got a video on that already if you want to go and check that out. It's definitely worth a watch, and it works. It really works. You can have a Kundalini Awakening. You can feel, basically, you can feel the Kundalini energy rising from your root chakra, exploding up every single one of your chakras, all the way out of your crown chakra, up into your sun chakra, and the explosion that triggers in your third eye is insane. For me, that actually triggered a natural DMT release. So that felt like I was being transported into another dimension, like higher dimensions that I had never accessed before. It made me convulsed. I was shaking like almost violently, to be fair. My jaw was chattering. It felt like extreme bliss and euphoria. Colours were all extremely vivid. They were so bright in everything I was looking at, and there was just like almost wavy and like morphing into other things and like fractaling off a little bit. Yeah, it really was like tripping out on drugs. That's the only way I know how to describe it, guys. It was insane. It was so intense. Yeah, that is definitely one to experience. I think I'm going to do a video on natural DMT release actually in the future, guys, because it's happened to me through dream state as well. So I think I'll go into that one in more detail in another video. So yeah, back to the Ankh Technique for a moment. The Ankh Technique is also a tool that can be used to activate your Merkaba and your sacred heart space. Also, obviously, the tantric sex element does that as well, but the Ankh Technique is another level to it. You can bring in another tool you can use for that to happen. It can also bring on healing, and it can raise your vibration. It can activate parts of you that you weren't activated before now, including your astral body. It can activate your psychic abilities and your third eye. So yeah, there really is a lot of benefits from this, and I can tell you I've felt a lot of these on this list myself, and it was absolutely incredible. I've never felt energy like it. I've never felt explosions like it through my chakras, my third eye, and then I felt my Kundalini energy just burst through my head, and it went all the way up to the sun chakra, possibly beyond. I felt all this DMT just flooding my system, and I just felt extreme bliss and euphoria for weeks after, absolutely weeks. Another thing that happened to me personally in that moment was as my astral body got activated, I felt it go off on a mission. I felt it join its mission with the Pleiadian Council of Light, sorry, and I felt it go and join its mission, and yeah, that was incredible. I felt, yeah, my astral body just go. It was like it went and signed up for the Galactic Federation or something, guys, and I was just getting this huge download about it at the time. It was insane, but yeah, it was really cool at the same time. So yeah, some of these benefits, guys, are just ridiculous. I am going to do another video on multiple orgasms and how to sort of achieve that and go into that a little bit more. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one. That one's a good one for the ladies. It's a good one for the guys, so you can please your ladies. Definitely going to be one to watch. And if I had only known this information a hell of a lot sooner, well, that would have been fantastic. But we can't have everything, can we, guys? It's better late than never. So yeah, that's the benefits. So another thing we've got to look into is what we call ab reactions in hypnotherapy. So that's basically trauma can come up because you you are obviously accessing and unlocking and activating things and healing things. So trauma can also come up as well as healing, especially if you've had sexual trauma in this lifetime or past lifetimes. So be aware of that. Intense things can happen when you start working with sex energy, and it is super powerful. So just don't be alarmed, because this can heal trauma. It can bring trauma up to be healed. Like, it can shine a light on what things you need to work on. It can just completely clear negative energy. It can completely heal and transform you and your sex life. And it can really get us out of that fight or flight mindset and release some of that trauma. So yeah, just be mindful of that. If you feel strong emotions coming up, it's part of your spiritual practice. This is it can be a way and a tool to do shadow work and integrate your hidden parts, and it can bring that trauma up to heal, but obviously that's only ever a good thing for our growth. So if that does happen, don't be alarmed. Don't obviously get scared and think, oh God, this is obviously a traumatic experience. It's the healing process that's happening. But it can bring up a lot of bliss and euphoria and love and elation, as well as explosion after explosion of energy. It really is super powerful, and it's not hard to do. All we have to do is bring that awareness to the bedroom, slow things down, tune into sensation, breathe, do some deep breathing. That's really going to help move your energy around and build the energy. And visualize that energy moving up through your body, your chakras, and visualize the Ankh Technique if you've watched that video. It's such a more powerful, loving way to have sex and to bond with yourself and your partner and to the universe itself, and it's such a fun way of doing it. Yeah, I'm a massive advocate for tantric sex. You don't even have to do, it doesn't mean that you have to do this, like, you don't have to have sex every single day 10 times a day for it to be tantric. You can have it once a month and have the most tantric experience of your entire life. And the energy involved, until you experience it, is really hard to explain. But yeah, this is a good introduction for you guys. Excuse me a sec while I just had to wet my nose, guys. Really sorry about that. I know that's not remotely sexy while I'm talking about sex, so I do apologise. But yeah, you've got the introduction to tantric philosophy now. Have fun with it. Explore with it. Enjoy implementing what you've learned. If you've got any questions, or if you want to share your own tantric tips, then please comment below. I'd be really happy to hear it. And yeah, don't forget to check out the video on the Ankh Technique if you'd like more info on that. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you like my content, and ring the little bell if you'd like to be notified every time I upload a new video. I really appreciate you watching, guys. Keep an eye out for more videos. There's going to be more Tantra talk coming soon. So yeah, share this with other people. Let's heal through sex, and let's make it a more spiritual experience and a lot more positive. And that's gonna not only heal our own trauma and our own past life trauma, it's gonna heal other people's trauma on the planet as well. It's gonna heal the vibration of the planet, and it's so powerful and potent. There's also, like, you can use sex energy for sex magic, so I will be doing a video on that one as well. So stay posted for that one, guys. But yeah, that's all we're gonna say for now on that one, guys. So thanks for watching. Lots of love and light to each and every one of you, and bye for now.